You thought this was going to be a boring meal prep video? Let me put you up on something else. I'm going to show you how I make a stovetop beef roast. Now you can do this with beef or pork roast. This is just a medium-sized one that I got from Costco. Alright, so what you're going to need to get started is a pan that is wide and deep enough to accommodate the size of roast that you want to make. Then you're going to want some olive oil, and then you're going to want whatever seasonings and vegetables that you're going to put in the pan to season the meat. So I put basically like a tablespoon worth of olive oil for the entire roast. Got the pan going on high, and then I seasoned the outside of the meat with salt, pepper, and paprika. Now you want to initially have the pan on high because you want to season all four of the outsides so that it keeps all the flavor in while you're cooking it slow. So after the two larger flat sides, I turn the meat on each side, season, and sear that as well. Alright, so the next step after the seasoning and searing is to add water for the base. You don't want to add too much. I put maybe about a half an inch on the bottom. The steam from the water is going to help cook the meat once I put the lid on the pan, as well as become the stock once I add the vegetables in for flavoring. So what I did here is just keep it simple, added some cut up sweet onions, and then I put the lid on, and once I put the lid on, I reduce the heat down to medium-low. Now, I say medium-low, but each stove has its own nuances, so you want to make sure that you kind of keep an eye on it unless you know your stove really well. I let it sit like this for 6 hours. So here's the finished product, folks. You can see that the onions are nice and caramelized at the bottom as most of the water's been cooked off. And look at that. I had a knife ready, but no knife needed. It's just falling apart. Alright, so next I want to transfer all this meat from the pan into a receptacle, and I'm kind of scooping up some soup stock to get it all nice and flavored as I put it in this large Tupperware. Then from there I can distribute it into different portions for meal prep. You know you made it good when all you need is a set of tongs to just kind of grab and twist the meat, and it practically just falls apart in the tongs without hardly any effort. Now, here is where you can make a decision as to how much or how little fat content you want. Most of the fat's been kind of cooked off the meat and into the juice of the pan. I'm not too concerned about my fat content. What little fat I do get comes from my animal proteins. So while I don't want an excessive amount of fat in there, I am going to scoop up some of this juice so that it gives the meat a nice flavor when I reheat it later on. And then, of course, depending on what vegetables you used for your stock, you can keep or dump those as well. Alright, so now that I've transferred all the meat from the pan, I'm going to do some meal prep here, weighing everything out. I typically do 4 ounces of this for my lunch. You can see the macros here. It's about 350 calories, 35 grams of protein. And then for a dinner portion, I usually do about 6 ounces. You can do the math based off of 4 or check out the macros here. About 514 calories, 52 grams of protein. So altogether, it's about 1,000 calories, 90 grams of protein between the 2 meals. And then I like to dip it in my Kinder's barbecue sauce, and super. Give that a try. Let me know how it works out for you. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and thanks for watching.